Good morning, friends. Today I am going to explain about the upmilling process. Upmilling is nothing but it is one of the milling process in order to remove the material from the workpiece in the form of chips by the rotating multi-point cutter. So here upmilling, one by one the steps what it includes I explained here. The upmilling is also called as conventional milling. Upmilling is also called as conventional milling. Right? So here the direction of this cutter, this one is the direction of this cutter is in clockwise. So this is the direction of rotation. Okay, here the cutter will be rotates in stationary in clockwise, and this one is the chip formed after removing the material. This one is the chip, and this area which is already machined, so machined surface, this area is machined surface, and totally this object is our workpiece. The direction in arrow mark which is shows the feed of this workpiece, the work feed. This one is the work feed is nothing but the movement of workpiece with respect to the cutting zone. Okay, here the cutting zone starts and this is the ending of the cutting or shearing. So here I will show you in this red zone, this is the shear zone where the material starts to cut. Okay, and come to the second point. Here the cutter, this one is the cutter, right? Cutter rotates. The rotation of this cutter is against the direction of travel of this work. Here the cutter rotates in this direction, right, in clockwise direction, so in this direction. So here the feed is in this direction, so opposite to this. So cutter rotates against the direction of travel of the workpiece during cutting process. Okay, and come to the third point. The third point where in which the cutting force is in this working process. The cutting force at the beginning, this one is the beginning process, this one is the beginning, and this one is the ending point, ending cutting process. Here at the beginning the cutting force is minimum, so here there is no any metal removal rate is there. Okay, you see this zone, there is no any material, already there already this surface is machined. So at the beginning cutting force is minimum, and minimum at which, at the beginning process. Okay, beginning of cutting. And here you see this, here the thickness of this material is maximum, so the force which is required to remove this amount of material is required more, hence here the thickness of chip or material is less, hence at the beginning it is requires minimum, and the maximum at the end, right? So next the point is chip thickness starts at 0 and increases towards the end of the cut. It means this is the chip thickness, you see this is the chip, and thickness where it shows thickness starts at 0, though here you will see this zone the thickness of chip is 0, and you see in this area the thickness of chip is maximum or increases. So chip thickness starts at 0 and maximum at the end. Right, here at the starting or beginning point the thickness of chip is very less, it means 0, it considers as a 0, and at the end it is maximum or it is increases. Here you will see this area, the chip thickness is increases by means of when the travel of this rotor or cutter. At the end the chip thickness is maximum as compared to the beginning. So chip thickness starts at 0. 0 is nothing but it is the portion where there is no any chip thickness, and maximum at the end. So from beginning to end compared to the end portion the chip thickness is maximum or increases. Okay, and the next point, in this upmilling process, the cooling of this zone, it is very difficult because of nature of cut. So it is very difficult to pour the coolant. It is difficult to pour the coolant. And the next point, due to the difficulty in pouring coolant, it is the surface finish, where at the completion of this cutting portion, after completion of this cutting process, the surface finish is very less because of high heat generation. I already told you here the difficult to pour the coolant. So there is no any coolant, so there will be a generation of high heat will be generated more, hence the surface of that cutting zone is subjected to poor surface finish. So hence at the last point is poor surface finish. So this is regarding the upmilling process. Thank you.